Hey, it's me again, and let's continue our journey of grease pencil. So, let's just open Blender, and before we dive into the really in-depth of grease pencil, I just want to show you that you may already using grease pencil, but you just don't know it. Okay, so let me just show you this. So if you open a Blender project, you might have noticed that at the left we got a toolbar, and at the toolbar, if you hover over this, you can see a pen, and you got some sign, and that's called annotate. So this annotate tool, I overlooked that for a pretty long time until recently when I actually start to learn grease pencil, and this is the grease pencil that everyone overlooked. Because if you switch that back, maybe use shortcuts like a shift spacebar and then press D. So yeah, let me just show you. Let me get the screencast key. Okay, so basically you're going to shift and spacebar and then D. Okay, so it's not like you're doing that together. It's a shift and spacebar, so you got this menu out, and then you choose that annotate. Okay, and then you can draw on this canvas. That's so good. Okay, so for example, I can draw something like here is a cube. Okay, and this is say William Jennings YouTube channel, something like that, YouTube. Okay, and the great thing about this annotation, about grease pencil in general, is that what you are drawing is essentially in 3D space. So you can hold the middle mouse here. So I add this, I don't know whether you guys can see it. Yeah, maybe I have to move myself to the right side so it will not cover. I can maybe make myself a little bit transparent. Okay. Okay, maybe here. Maybe here. Maybe just make myself a little bit smaller. Okay, maybe just make myself a little bit smaller. Like this. Okay, and maybe I just change the offset a little bit because yeah, screencast key is a plugin that you can use to just cast your keys. Okay, and there's offset, I think a line left, or maybe just align that to the center. I think that's much better. Okay, if I align it to the center, I can just make myself a little bit bigger, like the normal size. Okay, so yeah, and when you're holding the middle like a scroll wheel, and you turn around, you can see that here. Okay, so basically you're drawing at 3D space, and that is sort of aligned to the viewport. So if you got a certain viewport like this, okay, and it will just like horizontal, like for example, you look at here, the viewport, the angle is here, and you're looking at this way. So whatever you draw will be on exactly the same plane, like 19 like perpendicular with this plane, and when you spin it around, okay, so you just from different angle, it will just like you're writing on the wall. Okay, so yeah, that's amazing thing about grease pencil is that you can draw in 3D, and we can do so much more by using this very powerful tool. So first, the most simple one is annotation. Okay, I might use this tool a lot because this tool I've been overlooked for a pretty long time, and especially for me when I share my tutorial, I think it's very good and very convenient tool just to like scribble something down and maybe share the file with you, so you know that hey, this is maybe this is the head, is some component that you need to switch on or something like that. Okay, so this is the first kind of a rather simple way of grease pencil. But if you have to utilize the full power of grease pencil, you're not going to use this annotation, but rather you're going to completely change the setup of your blender. So do you remember when you first open Blender, which is not safe, you are being given a welcome screen. Okay, so let me do something like this. And if you click anywhere else, the welcome screen just gone. But you can recall that by click here, and we got this splash screen. If you click this, it will just pop out, and we got a lot of recent files. So this is like a VRM imported file, like William Jamming 6 version. I got mountain some sort of experiment and drawing some previous something like that, and which my previous work. And if you want to, I think most of the time I just ignore this and just click anywhere else, and then just doing some sculpting or maybe some modeling here, and then later save. But you can also, at the splash screen, you can actually select the new file. So at the left, we got all this default file that you can choose, and this is very, very important for you, especially for beginner like me. I choose this because I don't need to worry about all these settings. So grease pencil can involve a lot of setting. So if you already want to got a really complex project and want to incorporate grease pencil into your project, you can do that. But if you want just to learn from scratch, or you don't want to go through all this hassle of setting it up, the quick way is just call out the splash screen and click 2D animation. I know that we haven't covered animation yet, but we will, as I promised. I've never failed to fulfill any of the promise that I made. I will do the animation. But right now, let's just get the basic grease pencil setting ready, and we're going to use the help of 2D animation. So if you click this 2D animation, you can see the Blender's whole layout will have a major changes. Okay, so if you look at, just wait a few seconds, okay, you can see that we got what is this? This is like a Photoshop sort of view, and you can actually let me use my pen. You can actually draw on here. Okay, so that's so good. It's just like you're using a completely different software. Okay, so let me just show you. So I can write something like William Jamming, something like that. You can write on it, and you can see at the bottom there, you got a pretty similar setup, like you're dealing with Adobe Animate. I demonstrate my first animation using Adobe Animate, but you can also use grease pencil to make animation, and I'm definitely going to share with you guys how to do that. But right now, let's just get yourself familiar with this environment. Okay, so yeah, so first you need to know that there are different modes of this setup. And before I actually dive into the introduction of the layout, first I have a very important setup thing to do. You can do that, you can ignore that, it's just your personal preference. But for me, I have to do that because I got the screencast key enabled. So if I don't change this setting, you won't be able to see the screencast key, so you won't be able to see what is going on, what key I'm pressing. So pretty simple. You just need to switch to word settings. So here we got word setting, and this word right now is using the default value, which is completely white, and that's kind of just like coincide with the screencast key's default color. So you don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is to, just for the comfort of your eye, just to change it down, like tuning down a little bit. As you guys can see, when I tuning down the screencast keys, the mouse just appeared. That's because you don't want it too wide, so you just completely disappear. Okay, so you will just make it down a little bit, and this is very important because okay, so once you got this setting ready, and you can play around in this mode, and what a better way of like playing around than just like a move and pan. Okay, so you can use your middle mouse here and just scroll it backwards. You can see that we're sort of like in a 2D space, but that is just illusion because you are essentially in this zero camera viewport. So if you go right, you can see that if you press the key 0, you got this like a really front view. But what about you change that to 1, 2, 3, 4? It seems that there's not working, but you can. But there is a big like a trick. It's used holding the middle like scroll wheel. While you're holding it, you just completely get outside of the restriction, so you can actually see that it's just a big canvas, and you got a camera here, and the camera is like looking this way. Okay, and this is the part where I draw these lines. Okay, and basically it's just a 3D space, just like a blender. And what is more, you can just get outside of the draw mode, become object mode, and you can see this is an object. And then say if you don't want to use grease pencil, you want to just use it like a normal blender, you can use all the technique that you already learned. So you can create a cube. Okay, we already got a cube here. Let me just got this like a viewport shading. Okay, so you guys can see that I just got a 3D space. I got this cube, and I can move this cube. Okay, I can move this x axis, y axis, something like that. I can scale it, and I can scale it x axis, something like that. I can do all sort of like a great, amazing blender stuff. But when I press 0, just go back to the original viewport. And if I zoom in and make it like to fill the whole screen, you can see I can just treat this as a 2D canvas. And then I can say go back to the draw mode, and then you can just draw based on it. Okay, so that's a quick like overview of even though you thought it's a 2D space, still you can get out of this 2D space and make it 3D. And say that you want to continue to draw, you just don't forget to change that to draw mode. Okay, and you can continue to draw like this is William Jamming's like a Learn Digital Art channel. Learn Digital Art like .com, something like that. Okay, you can still draw, and of course you can still get out of here. You can see we got a cube, we got this 2 lines of text, and yeah, that's amazing, right? And yeah, I think that's will be all. It's a quick overview, and the takeaway of this video is that even though you can use grease pencil in a normal project, the best way to do it is through this 2D animation preset. You click it and you can continue to draw. And of course, you can also get out of this 2D mode by holding the middle mouse and just scrolling around, and you can get out. You can use it as a normal blender. You can add all this 3D object. You can even import object, import environment, and then you can go back by press 0. And all this camera settings is kind of a contextual. So the only thing that will work is just the 0. Okay, the rest won't work at the beginning of this, but once you get out of it, it can work. Okay, and yeah, just to work as normal blender. But when you haven't get out of it, this, at least while I demonstrate, you won't able to would like get out of sight of it. But once you get outside, they know that hey, you work at 3D stuff. It's not just using 2D and animation. Okay, so yeah, see you again in the next video. Bye.